Hi, welcome to the 3 Writing and Publishing Questions with Angela James. I am Angela James, and I hope you caught the intro because I'm totally jamming with the new music. I made that on Canva. It's something fun, and I hope you enjoyed it. So today I have 3 questions to answer, as always. And just as a reminder, if you want to ask questions, you are certainly welcome to submit the form and to submit a question via the form, and you can always ask your question and I will get to it in the next episode. So without further ado, let me start with this first question. The first question today is, how important is it to have a presence on social media platforms? Can you rank them in order of importance? This question kind of made me smile because I don't think that there is an order of importance for social media platforms. So let me start by saying, how important is it to have a presence on social media platforms? I think any author who wants to market may want to have some sort of presence on social media, even if you're not interacting, if you're just putting out information about your book. I think it's important to have some presence, because if you don't have a presence on social media, it becomes harder to get in front of readers. Not impossible, just harder. So social media does allow us to get in front of readers. It is a form of marketing. It's a form of free marketing and can be really important in reaching your readers and helping readers find out about your book. So discoverability, it adds to discoverability. Now, that said, if you are somebody who absolutely loathes social media, then don't do it. I'm never going to say you have to do one certain thing in order to be successful in writing. Is it going to be harder? Yeah, maybe. But everybody makes choices in their author careers. We make choices about what you write, how you publish, your pseudonym, how often you publish, and social media is just another choice. With every choice that you make, you have to understand the impact that that's going to have on your career, whether it's genre or your pseudonym or how often you're publishing or using social media. But it's just a choice. So no, you don't have to be on social media, but if you do have a presence, it is going to help fans find you, especially if you are posting regularly. Now, here's the thing. Everybody always thinks that being on social media means you have to be on all social media, and that is absolutely not true. Usually what I recommend is for people to find one platform that they like and to do that platform really well. You do want to have your social media name. You want to sign up for your social media name on all platforms. So Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, Mastodon, whatever it is, make sure that you do have your name reserved for yourself on those social media platforms, just so that you have it if you want to use it, and so that they are all the same across all platforms. But when it comes to using the social media, find one social media and do it really well. And by that, I mean, have that social media be the place where you have a presence, where you're interacting with readers, where you're talking, where you're being most active. Now, you can also use the other social media platforms to simply promote. Yes, you're going to get less interaction. Yes, people aren't going to pay as much attention, but they're still going to see. And so touch points are still a part of marketing. So it's still worth it to be promoting the book there, talking about releases, talking about what the book is about. So if you ask me to rank social media in order of importance for an author, it's impossible. It's impossible to do because everybody thinks that different social medias are better. They're more important. I personally like Facebook for authors because there's a lot of readers on Facebook. You can see that by how big Facebook reader groups get. You can find specific spaces on Facebook for your specific genre. You can also go and find dedicated spaces to writing, to reading, to people within your niche. So I like Facebook for that reason. I do think that it does become a little bit easier to market on Facebook, but A lot of people have had success with Twitter. So Twitter might be going, we don't know how long Twitter is going to last, but people certainly sell books on Twitter. And if that's the place you're comfortable, then that's the social media that's of most importance. TikTok, of course, TikTok has just really grown and exploded some authors' careers. So if you want to dive into making videos and you don't want to have to do Facebook, you don't want to have to do Twitter, and you like the idea of videos, then TikTok is an option. One thing to know about TikTok is you don't necessarily have to show your face. You can do different types of videos about your book and still get interaction, and they can still be impactful. And then there's Instagram and now Mastodon, and some people have success on LinkedIn. And also, I didn't mention this before, Pinterest, with Pinterest pins. So social media, there isn't one that's most important. The one that's going to be most important is the one that you'll participate in and do consistently and regularly. So hopefully those thoughts on social media help. If you have any questions, please do reach out and let me know. Second question. How do I find a critique partner or writing buddy? This is a question that I hear fairly frequently, and I'm going to tell you the secret of finding a critique partner or writing buddy. You cannot wait for them to find you. You have to put yourself out there. I hear from a lot of authors who, oh, I wish I had a writing bestie, or I wish I had a good friend that I could talk to about writing. I wish I had a critique partner. I wish I had somebody that I could bounce ideas off of. The first step is that you need to find your community. So find a community, of course. From Written to Recommended is my community that I offer to authors. We do also have a free Facebook group, the Publishing Insider. But there's places on Facebook. You can find other free Facebook groups. You can find servers on Mastodon. You can find writing communities that are for pay in addition to mine. There's little pockets of writers groups locally. You need to find a community because that's usually going to be the easiest first step in finding a critique partner or writing buddy. And then, this is the hard part, you have to interact. You're going to have to interact with the people in that community. Ask questions, put yourself out there, comment on other people's posts, interact. And as you start to interact, you start to find somebody who you resonate with or you jive with, whatever word you want to use, you vibe with. When you find somebody that you feel like you're vibing with, you reach out to them. You reach out to them and you say, hey, do you want to, maybe meet up and have a coffee chat about writing? Would you be interested in being critique partners? I really like what you said here, and I feel like we have a similar mindset. Would you be interested in exchanging ideas and texting with each other? The trick is you have to put yourself out there. You can't wait for somebody to come to you. And so many authors are looking for critique partners and writing buddies, and they always say, I can't find anybody. My question is always, what have you done to reach out and find someone? And usually authors get kind of a frozen look on their face and they go, nothing. And it's because they're waiting for somebody to approach them. So this is part of adulting. In order to find friends, we have to put ourselves out there, and a critique partner and a writing buddy is a relationship. And so in order to have that relationship, you are going to have to start the relationship. It's not easy, but it is so worth it when you find that person that clicks with you. I have that person in my own business as my accountability partner, Kaz. We have been meeting weekly for 2 years, and we are in completely different businesses, but she gets me and I get her. We totally vibe. And I do have to admit that she reached out to me. So I was lucky there, but had she not reached out to me and I was looking for that person, I would start looking by joining communities and starting to reach out to people and kind of just being like, hey, do you want to be my business friend? So put yourself out there. That's how you find a critique partner or a writing buddy. The third question for today. I'm a pantser. How do I make sure I'm hitting all of the beats, plot points, and character arcs? I love pantsers because you all are so creative and your minds are often going so fast that you don't want to slow down to plot. So I do have a couple of words of advice if you are a pantser. The first thing is to make sure that you're actually 100% a pantser. Sometimes people call themselves pantsers, but they are willing to do some plotting or story prediction ahead of time. So just figure out, are you really a pantser, or is it possible that there's a few ideas that you can jot down before you start writing? Maybe even when you sit down in the morning, can you jot down what this scene is going to be about? Is it possible you could just do a chapter by chapter beats, like not a formal outline or nothing long, but just this happens in this chapter, this happens in this chapter. It might also be that you just can sketch that you want the character to start here and end here in the book. So just figure out if you are actually a pantser or if there are some small plotting things that you can do. The second piece of advice is a bit of a word of warning, and that is, if you're a pantser, you are going to have to embrace the revision process. You're going to have to love editing, because this is the point where you're going to make sure that you're hitting all of the beats. You've covered all the plot points and that you have character arcs. So if you're a pantser and you're like struggling against your process and you just want to write, lean into your process. Stop fighting your process. Lean into your process. Go ahead and just write the book and know that now, okay, here's the things that I usually miss in writing, and here's what I have to look for in edits. And this is where having an editing process can really, really, really help you. So when I talk about an editing process, I mean having a checklist that you follow, knowing exactly where you're going to start. Now, my recommendation for starting with edits is to start by asking yourself questions as you reread the book the first and maybe second time after you have written it. So after you've hit the end, you're going to come back and you're going to read and maybe reread, and you're going to just ask yourself questions and write out lots of notes about things that were confusing, things that were missing, things that weren't clear. You're going to start noticing in those rereads, where are the beats missing? Where are the plot points not covered or resolved? What character arcs are missing? So yes, you are going to be doing a lot of editing and revising if you're a pantser. You're not going to get to the end and just hit publish or send it to your editor or even your critique partner. You're going to want to read through it first. So that's a couple of pieces of advice. One other thing is, you may find that you're a pantser because you've hated the way that people have told you to plot. And so it may be that there's other ways of plotting that you weren't aware of that might work for you. So it's always a good idea to just explore what other ways of plotting are there. You know, do I like sticky notes, and can I move sticky notes around? Do I want something digital, and would I love to do storyboard plotting or comic plotting? So there's so many different ways of plotting that it may be that you're a pantser right now because you haven't hit on the right way. But it may be that you're just 100% a pantser, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Embrace it, and then embrace the editing. Okay, thank you. That is all of the questions for today. The next 3 at 3 is going to be November 29th. Don't forget to submit your questions. I would love to hear your questions. I love the questions every week. So please submit your questions and I will get to them in the next 3 at 3. Remember, we do these every 2 weeks. I want to let you know about 2 opportunities that are available right now. And I'm just going to switch over so I can grab some links for you. If you are on my email list, you're going to get this invitation, but you're not on my email list, I'm going to hit this in the comments. And what it is I am just now doing critique and consultations. I haven't done these in over a year. So you're going to see the link show up on YouTube and Facebook. If you don't see the link, let me know and I will drop it for you. But I'm doing critique consultations. They're 30 minutes. I will critique up to 5,000 words. I'm going to let the dog in. I will critique up to 5,000 words, and we can talk about whatever you want. It's a verbal critique. If you're looking for information, the link is in the comments, but also the information will be coming out via my newsletter as well. And then don't forget that on December 2nd, I have a live workshop, and the recording will also be available on how to use deeper point of view to make the reader write reader character connection. That workshop is only $9. So I would love for you to join me. It's going to be December 2nd. The recordings will be available. We're also going to be making your recordings available in a podcast form, so you can listen to it on the go if you don't like to sit at your computer and listen. So please join me for making the reader character connection, all about deep point of view. It's about a 2-hour workshop. I gave this workshop in Alaska. It's fun. I love this workshop. I have lots of practical tips for you to get to a deeper point of view, to create a connection between the characters and the readers. And it's just a really great way of thinking about your book and how to create more avid fans of your readers. That is all for today. Thank you all so much for joining me. I will be back again on November 29th. And don't forget, you can submit your questions at any time. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving to those of you who are in the US. For the rest of you, careful, because Black Friday emails and offers are coming out and your email is about to get inundated. I have offers. Other people have offers. Try not to spend too much money. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I will see you next time.